Is Jennifer Siebel-Newsom, first partner of California, co-founder of that California Partners Project. Thanks so much for joining us, Jennifer. The question is always, why mandate it? Do you have any proof that the significant jumps that you have seen comes directly as a result of the law? And it's not happening broadly across states and across companies just because of societal pressure and pressure from institutional investors, which is going that way anyway.
Right. No, great question. And thanks for having me. So, look, the law is working and the proof is there, to your point, that we've almost doubled the number of women on corporate boards. About 98% of public boards in California have at least one woman on their board. By the end of this year, if they're a board of 6 or more, they'll have at least 3 women on their board. If they're 5, they'll have 2. If they're 4 or less, they'll have 1. And we're on our path there. There are about 418 companies that still have to comply, about 563 seats to fill. And, you know, we're on that trajectory, and it's really exciting. What is an interesting and unfortunate statistic, though, is that women of color are 32% of California's population and only 6.6% of these board seats. Latina women are about 19% of our population and only 1% of these board seats. So we definitely need to bring more women onto corporate board seats in California to not just reflect the population, but the consumer base, right? And knowing that women are still 85% of consumers in California, it makes sense that we would want to bring the majority of the female population, Latino women, onto the corporate board.
When you, on the topic of equal pay, Jennifer, do you feel like the process of gathering the data and publishing it for companies does drive them to then make changes, act as a wake-up call, or is it a sort of public naming and shaming that leads to them to then take action?
Yeah, no, appreciate that. You know what? We really haven't had to do any public naming and shaming. Yes, when it comes to whether it's equal pay or women's representation on corporate boards, this is public information in, on the one case in the hands of the Secretary of State and the other, the Department of Labor. It's really about, better business practices. We know that when you have one woman on a corporate board, that you have 26% staff performance growth relative to all male boards. So we know that there is, gains to be made when you have more women in leadership. Same with closing the pay gap. In California, we have the strongest equal pay laws in the nation, and we're aiming to have the smallest gap in the nation. But we still have work to do. And I think as we, educate the public and make people aware of the fact that they're not compliant, which in some cases is just, we're all moving so quickly, people aren't thinking about that. And when we give them the steps to comply and we show them this dearth of, especially when it comes to women's representation on public boards, this dearth breadth of talented women that are available in the pipelines to leadership, it makes it so much easier. In fact, at calpartnersproject.org, we have a resource hub to make it easy for not just those seeking to fill their board seats, but also for talented, diverse women to step up and advocate for themselves to be on those boards.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.